Okay, before we start, I just want to say I haven't played NHL in a really long time, so I'm not good. I'm gonna be showing you some gameplay in the background just so you have something to look at if you want. So, because you don't want to see my face, it's super ugly. But yeah, so don't expect anything good. I'm not even using full control. I'm still on the skill stick, so I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty new ish back to the NHL community, whatever. So yeah, gameplay's pretty horrible. Hopefully, my predictions make up for it. So let's make predictions about the Anaheim Ducks. I'm gonna be predicting player stats as well as their starter stats, who I think is gonna be the starter, and where they end up in the standings. This is what I'm doing for my own fantasy league, so hopefully it can help you guys. Even though it's probably gonna be wrong, let's be honest, like predictions never turn out correctly. Some of them can, but most of the time it's really unpredictable. Hockey is an unpredictable sport. That's why we love it so much. That's kind of corny, but I said it. But yeah, and I'm planning on reviewing all the predictions I do at the end of the season or maybe next year. So that's always funny to look back at what you thought was gonna happen and what really happened. So, without further ado, the first player we're gonna predict is Trevor Zegras. There were a lot of trade rumors about Zegras during the summer and even during the season. He hasn't been traded yet. I don't know if he's going to be traded, but as of right now, he's still a member of the Anaheim Ducks. And I'm predicting, I think, he's going to have a bounce back season. Last year, he only played 31 games, put up 6 goals, uh, basically an injury riddled season. And when he was in the lineup, he was really bad. So I think he can bounce back, which is why I gave him 78 games played. And honestly, he's still a young player. He was a high draft pick. He still has a lot of potential. He's only 23. So I think he puts up his first point a game season, which is why I gave him, as I said, 78 games, 28 goals, 50 assists for 78 points. Considering he already put up back to back 60-point seasons, I don't think this is too far fetched. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Zegras. Let's go on to Leo Carlson, who was in his rookie year and who the Anaheim Ducks protected. He only played 55 games. He had 12 goals, 17 assists. And this year, in his second season, I think he's going to play the whole season. So I gave him 82 games, 18 goals, 25 assists for 43 points. I think his jump isn't going to be really that crazy, considering he's on Anaheim, which isn't the best offense, but still 40 points for a second year player I think would be solid. And playing the whole season without getting injured, that would be nice for them and him also. After that, we have Troy Terry. I gave him 82 games. Well, first of all, last year he played 76 games, had 20 goals, 34 assists for 54 points with an 11.6 shooting percentage. Not fantastic stats, especially for the 20 goals. That's kind of low for him. But I don't know if his 37 goal season was a fluke or that's what we should be expecting from Troy Terry. So, all in all, in the end, I landed on 73 games played, 22 goals, 40 assists for 62 points. So, I do think Troy Terry should be a 60-point player throughout his career if he stays healthy. But 20 goals is kind of low. I gave him 22 with 3 games less. Yeah, I think it's kind of fair. He could crack 30, but not this year, I don't think. Next, we have Cutter Gauthier, who last year only played the one game after getting traded to Anaheim for Jamie Drysdale. in kind of a controversial fashion, if that's how you say it, whatever. Um, but yeah, so basically, I didn't have much to base my opinion on other than the scouting reports and all that. I based my opinion on the season Leo Carlson had as a rookie, so I gave Cutter also 55 games, but seeing as he's more of a goal scorer than Leo is, I gave him 20 goals, 15 assists for 35 points, which is pretty solid for a rookie, especially the 20 goals. But we'll see. The hockey community doesn't really like him. Some people call him quitter Gauthier, but yeah, we'll see how it goes for him. After Cutter, we have Mason McTavish, and I'm very high on Mason McTavish. Last year, he only played 64 games due to injury. He had 19 goals, 23 assists for 42 points, which is very good. A really good point two game ratio. So this year, I'm expecting him to be healthy. So I gave him 80 games, 24 goals, 36 assists for 60 points. That's not really crazy stats, but once again, Anaheim isn't a juggernaut, so I don't expect them to jump that high. But McTavish could improve on his 43 points as a rookie and put up 60. That would be solid. 24 goals. I think this guy's the future captain of the team. He's very good on both ends, so I'm really high on him. Lastly, for the forwards, oh yeah, because I didn't say it, I'm gonna be predicting the top six forwards, the top four defensemen, and one goalie. I said the one goalie, but not the other numbers because my head works upside down. That's why. Okay, let's go. Last forward is Frankie Vetrano, who had a crazy career year last year. He played 82 games, put up 37 goals, 23 assists for 60 points. He shot 13.6%, which is very high, probably his career high. Yes, it is in fact his career high in a full season. Gotcha. But yeah, so I think looking at those stats, I think we can only expect a regression from Frankie Vetrano, even though I think he's a pretty good player, a solid middle six forward with a really good shot. I think he can stay healthy, so I gave him 81 games, but back down to 21 goals, considering he had 22 goals 2 years ago when joining the Ducks. That's not too bad of a drop-off. 16 assists is what I'm giving him this season, with a total of 37 points. So quite the drop-off from 60 points, but 37 is still pretty respectable considering he's not making that much money. But yeah, I do expect a regression out of him. Moving on to defensemen, we have Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler, the lifelong Anaheim Duck. Last season, he was pretty bad. He played 81 games, had only 5 goals, 34 assists, and 39 points. Excuse me. And he was a minus 36. And he only shot 4.6% when his career average over 14 seasons is 6.2%. Plus, you combine that with the fact that it's his second last year of his contract. So next summer he's gonna be eligible for an extension. So I think he's gonna have quite the season. I think he's gonna put up career highs across the board, which is why I gave him 82 games, 14 goals, 41 assists, and 55 points. So for me, Cam Fowler is a really interesting fantasy option because I think he's good. He's good. Like, his shooting percentage was way too low last year. He has to bounce back from that, and I think he does. He can do it. He's still pretty young. He's gonna be 33, or he's already 33. I don't know. But yeah, 32, 33. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting out of Cam Fowler. Sorry for the creak noises. That's my chair. I'm broke. Okay, moving on. Then we have Pavel Mintyukov, who was in his rookie season last year. He looked really good, I must say. He played 63 games, had 4 goals, 24 assists for 28 points, minus 20, but playing on the Ducks, that's expected. And 4.5% shooting. We don't know whether he's going to be a high uh, percentage shooting defenseman, so that doesn't say much for now. But pretty similarly to Leo Carlson, I want to give Mintyukov a full season, a full healthy season, which is why I'm predicting him to play 82 games. But I'm also expecting him to not really grow in his second season. I'm saying I think his potential is really high. I think he can become a top 2, but not this next season. I think for defensemen especially, it's really difficult to follow up on a solid rookie season. I'm gonna say you, but like me personally, from what I remember, young defensemen tend to have one really good season as a rookie and then have the second year fall off and then bounce back in the third year and go from there. So this is why I'm giving Mintyukov 82 games, 4 goals, 22 assists for 26 points. Still respectable numbers, but it's not going to be a growth on the 28 points in 63 games he had last year. As for Jackson Lacombe, I think what we saw from him is what we're going to get. This guy was a second round pick in what year? I don't remember. 2019. I looked it up. I'm not that smart. Yeah. So Jackson had 71 games, 2 goals, 15 assists. I don't know if there's more potential there with Cam Fowler. I think Fowler's going to be taking the minutes. Also for Mintyukov, I think Fowler is going to play a lot. So Lacombe, I'm expecting pretty much the same as last year. Nothing crazy. I gave him 77 games, 2 goals, 16 assists for 18 points. Last but not least, for the skaters, Urho Vakanainen. Okay, last year he played 68 games for Anaheim, which was a career high, believe it or not. Why am I being that mean? Nah, he's actually okay. He's a good defenseman, okay? Had 68 games, 1 goal, 13 assists for 14 points, and he was actually an even player, so take that. He's a really good player on a shitty team. Let's not swear. Okay. So, Vakanainen, really, when it comes to, if we're being real, he's a bottom pair defenseman, so I didn't think too much of it. I gave him 71 games, 1 goal, 14 assists for 15 points, so an improvement of 1 point. There you go. As for goalies, this is where it gets pretty major. I think Lucas Dostal is going to steal the job from Gibson. He kind of already did last year. There's a lot of rumors around John Gibson also. There was the Frank Saravalli saying he would never play for the Ducks. Before last season, he would never play for the Ducks ever again, which turned out to be kind of false because he kind of played. But anyway, I think Dostal, however you want to say his name, he's the future in net, hopefully for Anaheim. Last year, he started 38 games, had 14 wins, which isn't a crazy win percentage, but still, he looked pretty good. He had a 902 save percentage, which is very good considering the team he's on. He didn't have any assists or any... where is it? He had 1 shutout. Excuse me. He had 1 shutout and 3 overtime losses, but yeah, whatever. So this season, I'm expecting him to start 47 games, so that's an improvement on the 38 he started last season. I'm expecting him to win 19 of them, lose in overtime for 4 of them, have 1 shutout again, and no assists. So a slow growth for him and the team. So they're still young. They have some veterans. I didn't put Killorn on. I didn't put Ryan Strome because I'm not the biggest fan of those players, and I want to prioritize the young players usually when I'm doing fantasy hockey. So that's why I didn't put them there. But Anaheim's a young team. I expect them to improve slightly, nothing crazy, no playoffs or anything. But I'm expecting them to finish sixth in the Pacific Division.